Good morning and welcome to Unity of Wilmington, our spiritual home. Happy Mother's Day to all of us who are, have had, or will be nourishers and nourishing. Thank you. Please stand and join us for our welcoming song.
When all God's children get together, what a time, what a time, what a time. Gonna sit down on the banks of the river. What a time that will be. When all God's children sing together. What a time, what a time, what a time. All the angels in the heavens gonna join right along. What a time that will be. Rocking my soul in the bosom of Abraham, rocking my soul in the bosom of Abraham, rocking my soul in the bosom of Abraham, oh, rocking my soul. When all God's children stand together, what a time, what a time, what a time. All the voice in the world gonna rise up as one. What a time that will be. What a time that will be.
And what a time it is. A lovely good morning again. I'm Lainey Mauger. I'm your platform host for this day. Welcome anybody here for the first time. Yay, terrific, glad you're here. Anybody here for the second or third time? For everybody else who is here, keeps coming back or is returning, yay. And for all of you out there in cyberspace, happy day, happy Mother's Day. Today, Christopher Dean is our sound tech, bringing us the sights and sound of this service. Our musicians are Justin and Mitch. Our stand-in for Katie Deese is Lisa Keating. Our soloist is Megan Golden, who will be entertaining us shortly. Our speaker for the day is Reverend Herbert Harris. And our prayer partner is Chris Mullen, who you can meet over in the prayer box corner later. So having said that, please join us in our affirming principle. There is only one presence and one power, active in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotence. Therefore, I am a beloved expression of God. I am here for a holy purpose. I am right place at the right time, right now. And now, Christopher, the Daily Word.
Good morning and happy Mother's Day. This is the daily Word for Sunday, May 14th. Blessing for mothers. I bless all mothers with thoughts of gratitude. There's nothing quite like a mother's love, so nurturing, caring, and warm. Today, I bless the women of my life who express this love in all they do. Whether it's the women who raised me or any of the women I know who so generously shared a mother's love. I have felt the care of God through their tender touch and encouraging words. Over the years, I have grown strong, confident, and under their kind direction, have relied upon their wisdom. The divine feminine flourishes on earth in the loving words and caring hands of mothers and all those who share a mother's love. I bless them and pray they know the love of God as they have shared it so generously with me. In the reading from the Bible, 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 30. Then the mothers of the child said, "As the Lord lives, and as you yourself live, I will not leave without you." And we all say, so it is.
And now, Megan.
She has her back to me at the kitchen sink, and I'm trying to read her mind, wondering what she doesn't say to anybody. The laundry's folded, beds are made. It's like this every single day. It's memorized, but a thin disguise. I see what she can't see. Her light only ever landed on me. There's a glimmer in her brown eyes, the one she gave to me. So I know we can both be shiny. She calls on Sundays, checking in. We talk about the weather again. It never changes. She wonders where the rain is. And once in a while I catch a glimpse of the truest things that she keeps in her secret heart. That's my favorite part. I see what she can't see. Her light only ever landed on me. There's a glimmer in her brown eyes, the one she gave to me. So I know we can both be shiny. All that glitters isn't gold, but the gold she gave to me. So I know we can both be shiny.
Wow. At least I heard you playing. I mean, those arpeggios, I'm like, man, I wish I could play like that. And Megan, thank you so much. I just went into a whole trance. Could you all feel that? I mean, it was almost like angelic, like words coming straight from heaven. Thank you so much. Let's give Megan another hand. Woo! And just reaffirm, Happy Mother's Day! Woo! I tell you, what a day a special day for mothers. And I want to start us off with we call it a mother meditation. Let's just sit up in our seats and put our feet flat on the floor. Let's close our outer eyes and open our inner eye. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. And then this state of peaceful rest, this calm state, let us affirm, I am at peace with myself together. I am at peace with myself. Just let that peace just sink in. From the top of our heads, through our mouths, tips of our toes. Take it. And as we release this breath, let us think of our mothers. Let us think of what brought joy to our mothers. I know that my mother was a pianist, piano teacher. And of all the times I saw her happy, her joy was when she was teaching a group of students how to play. Just focus on your mother. See those things that brought her joy. Just focus on them for a moment. And let's just smile and see the joy that fills her body, fills her spirit, fills her being, as she does what she does. It brings her joy. I can hear the children playing. Maybe you can hear your mother singing. Maybe you can see her cooking her favorite meal. Sitting there at the table just feeling proud and joyful that all have enjoyed. And whatever brings your mother joy, just say, it is good. Together. It is good. Let that joy sink in, knowing that the things that brought her joy, she transferred to you with everlasting love, everlasting devotion, everlasting service. Take a deep breath. As we let it out slowly, let us say, thank you, Mother. Together. Thank you, Mother. Once more. Thank you, Mother. Take a deep breath. Slowly. Let us affirm together, and so it is. Give yourself a hand. Wow. I could see my mother. My mother would teach music, and she had the little flutophones and the auto harps and all those instruments, that the kids play in school, and she was never happier than when those kids were playing. My dad couldn't stand it. It's like often on Saturdays they would come by the house and practice, and he was like, I'm out of here. Okay? But that always brought her joy. Could you see your mom in that moment of joy? Good. Well, first, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the room, all the mothers online, all the mothers in the universe. We appreciate you. Guess what? If it were not for mothers, we would not be here. I'll tell you something. There's nothing greater than to acknowledge and be thankful for being here. Sometimes we look at the mathematics of it, the odds of your being here may be slim. But the fact that you're here means that there was a mother and a father, but particularly a mother who cared and who loved. So welcome to our online audience. And those of you online, please act as though you're here. Whatever we do, just do it. Talk to the television, do your affirmations. If somebody's around, ignore them. Our topic for today is really a special day. It's the universal mother. And, you know, I like to look at that idea of mother not just from a personal perspective, but from a spiritual perspective, from a universal perspective. And so I think we'd like to start by giving all mothers the absolute applause and support. So let us just give all the mothers a big hand. So as we talk today, I like to always put us in the mood and get us righteous, get us in the vibration that whatever we do here together, we did it together. The mastermind principle that our thoughts and our vibrations work together for good. The room really filled up, you know, on a rainy day. So everybody in the room, just give yourselves a hand for being here. Wow. So we love to do, I like to call it super learning. The more of your vibrations you can get into the learning process, the better it is. So when I say we do call and response, I say, you know, you've been to church and they say, can I have an amen? Everybody says, amen. All right. She said, I really mean amen. Thank you. So if I say, how do you feel today? You say, great. How do you feel today? Great. Beautiful. How do you look today? Beautiful. All right. Then we love affirmations. We'll do some throughout the service to tie down the ideas that we have here. So my favorite affirmation is the one that I love doing with you all. And my favorite affirmation is, I am loved. I am loved. Oh, let's do it again. I am loved. And then the other is, I am beautiful through and through. And with this affirmation, you can't just say it. You can't, I am beautiful through and no, you got to, I am beautiful through and through. Let's try it together. I am beautiful through and through. Woo! Give yourselves a hand. Today we're going to be taking a spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and the mother concept really highlights that. I'm going to give some quotes from scripture from the Bible because the Bible is a profound spiritual guide that can teach us on many levels. Today we're going to be looking from Genesis, the 3rd chapter, Exodus chapters 1 and 2, 1 Kings chapter 3, Matthew, the 1st chapter, and Luke, the 8th chapter. I just give the chapters because I know you're going to go home and read the whole. Well, you know, I was in Israel studying, and one of my assignments was to read the entire Bible again. We were supposed to have read it already, but I think the teacher wanted to make sure. And so we had calculated it, and to do it in 90 days, that version had to read 13 pages a day. And that was one of the most challenging things, to have that kind of discipline to read 13 pages a day. And I always like the King James Version. You know, some of the modern day translations are okay, but when you compare them, sometimes it kind of it misses the mark. And so what we do today, we're going to use the Bible as a reference to really give another dimension to motherhood and being a mother. The dictionary says that a mother is a female parent, a woman in authority, one who raises a child who may or may not be the parent, the biological parent. Mother is maternal tenderness or affection. Even the verb to mother, to care for, to guide, to direct. And so this idea of the universal mother is approach it on different levels, on a physical level. Think about this. Through mothers, there is a direct physical connection all the way back to the very beginning. I mean, you know, when you read the Bible and it says this begot, that one begot, the other one begot whomever. But when you go the other way, every person comes from a person. And so if you go all the way back, there's a time in which there was an original person. I mean, nobody just dropped out of the air. And so there's that physical aspect. So just being a person, being a mother puts you in that line of creation. Wow. That's the physical aspect of it. But then on the spiritual aspect, that mother is really the idea of bringing forth. Very often a mother is identified with the earth, like the ground outside. That earth, whatever seed you plant, put in it, will grow in the earth. And the mother's like that. Whatever seed comes into her body, she will grow. And so when we think about the spiritual aspects of mother, it's like that principle behind the I am principle. We always talk about it, say, well, how does the I am principle work? You know, I am healthy. But I guess the presupposition is you got to be there before there's an I am. And so the mother is that vibration before the manifestation. Many times a mother can feel and see things that nobody else can. And you know those times when your mother tells you something and you ignore it? And you find out, boy, was she right? Because mothers seem to have a spiritual connection with all things. And mothers respond accordingly. Agatha Christie has an interesting quote, and she says, "Mother's love for her child is like nothing else in the world. It knows no law, no pity. It dares all things and crushes down remorselessly all that stand in its path." And mother love is so powerful. Mothers can do impossible things. I mean, raising me was pretty impossible. I know I was a handful. How many people were handfuls in your... Yeah, I tell you, every time I think about my mother, I'm like, boy, you got patience of Job and nerves of steel. Because I was one of those kids that didn't believe anything, didn't want to follow the rules. I mean, I wasn't a bad kid. I was just silly. You know, had no common sense, you know. So a mother is that vibration of creation. Many times we think about it in Eastern philosophy, and really, mother is like the feminine aspect of God. God has a masculine aspect, which is like thought, and a feminine aspect, which is feeling. So mother represents the feeling aspect of life. The first law of success says a man, I like to think it a mind, but a man will have whatsoever it thinks in its heart. And so mothers are that creative process that manifests that you think through your heart. So a mother wants great things for her children and does everything on earth to make it happen. In our daily lives, I mean, the idea of thought and manifestation works for everybody. Whatever you think, whatever you feel about that thought determines how it manifests. So that idea of like even the yin yang, you know, we always see the yin yang, the Eastern philosophy, and in the yin yang there's like the positive and the negative, but there's always in if say the positive is represented by light, there's a dark spot in the positive. If the negative is represented by darkness, there's a light spot in the negative. And so in the yin-yang philosophy, yin is the symbol of earth, femaleness, passivity, and absorption. So the female aspect of God is that idea of of softness, of femaleness, of absorption. Yang is the male aspect. And that is the symbol of heaven, thought, maleness, activity, penetration. And so the good life is really when the male and female aspects operate in harmony, when there's balance. When the male aspect is strong, you have wars. People are angry. When the female aspect is strong, you have love. And so our life is all about how to balance anger with love. And that's what mothers do. I like to point out four passages in the Bible which really gives an idea of mother. The first is Eve. In Genesis and Adam and Eve, Eve is the original mother. Genesis 3rd chapter, 20th verse says this, and Adam called his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of all living. So that says that the female aspect, the mother, is the source of all living. That makes a lot of sense because feeling gets the blessing. Whatever we feel, we attract. Metaphysically, Eve is life and living. It is also putting feeling and vibration into anything you want. When we think about, often it says, the thought quickens. That means the vibration quickens, the greater vibration. So when we look at the female aspect, it is really the idea of we want something badly enough that we can feel it in our hearts and we will not be denied. So mother in Eve is that creative principle that always gets results. You know, a father will tell a child, we have no food. But a mother's not going to do that. A mother's going to figure out a way, because she has such a strong feeling for that child, she's going to figure out a way to get it done, to get food for the child. So Mother's Day is really a time to acknowledge the feeling nature and our gratitude for being created. And so that's the Eve principle. Eve is the mother of all things. I am grateful for my life. Let us say that together. I am grateful for my life. And then thank you, Mother, for giving me life. Together. Thank you, Mother, for giving me life. Just close your eyes a moment and let that just resonate together. Thank you, Mother, for giving me life. I can just see my mother right now. You know, smiling. So this idea of Eve being the mother of all living things says that feeling creates all things. The second person, mother in the Bible, is Jochebed. Now, nobody's ever heard of all the people in the Bible. You would think that Jochebed would be well known, but there's only one mention of her in the Bible. I think in Exodus, the 6th chapter, 20th verse. Jochebed is the mother of Moses. All this time we talk about Moses, but Moses had a mother. Okay? And now it sort of comes together. Moses' mother was Jochebed, and Moses' mother lived in the time, in the Bible it says that the administration had changed, that there was a new king in Israel, a new Pharaoh who had forgotten Joseph. You know, Joseph came into Egypt and brought all kinds of wisdom and good things to Pharaoh. But as happens right now in politics and in life, people forget who brought the good stuff. So over the years, they forgot the value that Joseph and the Hebrew people had brought to Egypt. And Pharaoh at that time decided to kill all the boy children. He was afraid. He said, their numbers they will outnumber us. Isn't it interesting how stuff repeats? And so he decided to kill all the boy children and save the girl children. Jochebed, Moses' mother, said, now that's a problem. If you're living in a country where they have to kill all the boys at church, that's the problem. So Jochebed decided, and now the story comes. She put Moses in the basket, made of really weeds and leaves and straw, put a little tar on it so it wouldn't sink, put it in the water, and it was found by Pharaoh's daughter. When you start really reading in detail the backstory, what this says, Jochebed is that mother's nature to do whatever it takes. She said, look, she hid Moses for 3 months, but after 3 months, you can't hide a child too much. You hide him for a while, but after 3 months, she had to do something. And so she literally calculated it. They doesn't tell you all of that, but when you look at it in the Bible, what's the odds of her finding where Pharaoh's daughter is bathing? So she made up her mind. She said, I'll put the baby near Pharaoh's daughter. But she also had faith, because the one thing she couldn't calculate was how Pharaoh's daughter would respond. And that's the power of mothers. They have that faith. She said, perhaps Pharaoh's daughter will have compassion. And when a mother has that kind of faith, that's when they step out. She said, I've done everything I've done. Put this baby on the water. Pharaoh's daughter saw the baby. She had compassion. Now, the interesting thing, Miriam, who was Moses' sister, happened to be there and said to Pharaoh's daughter, why don't you adopt him? In other words, Jochebed had put this thing together. And that's what mothers do. Think about your mother, how many times she's had to put it together to make a way out of no way. Can you remember those times when that, how many people's mother, can you remember when your mother made a way out of no way? Just put your hand up. Yeah. I know my mother did. She made a way out of no way. Miriam now happened to be there and says to Pharaoh's daughter, well, why don't I get a Hebrew lady to nurse the child for you? And guess who she got? Jochebed, Moses' mother. Now, you can't make this stuff up. So literally, what that shows is that Jochebed recognized the problem, and she said, I will handle this. And that's a powerful aspect of motherhood. A mother will find a way to protect her child no matter what. A mother will have faith. That kind of faith that there's no, when they say faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, when there's no evidence that this will happen, a mother will say, I believe. The lesson is that a mother will do anything to protect her child, and she has faith in the process. The mother's desire to protect her child was so strong that you don't worry about the how. You know, there was an interesting story in 1982. A lady in Lawrenceville, Georgia, Angela Cavello, her son was under a car and the jack failed. It was a Impala, Chevy Impala. That's when they made cars out of metal. And when the car dropped on her son, she literally picked up the car enough that they can slide her son out. It's been documented. You know, everybody, well, and I mean, I was reading a report that scientists were trying to explain how when you have extreme stress, that the hormones, that the body can emit some, different substances that strengthen the body. And the whole thing was she had faith. She refused to let her son die. She lifted up that car. The idea is that whatever our mothers did, she did the best she could with what she had to do it with. I'll say it and then you repeat after me. My mother did the best she could with what she had to do it with. Together. My mother did the best she could with what she had to do it with. The third story is about two unnamed women. In 1 Kings, in the 3rd chapter, it talks about, and we know the story. You know, it's interesting how I love Bible school because kids learn the stories. They may not learn all the stuff behind it, but you all remember the story Solomon cut the baby in half, But let's look at it from a mother's point of view. And this is interesting. In the Bible, it says two harlots. And we know what they are. Okay? So it's really saying that it does not matter what the mother is. The principle is still there. You have the worst mother in the world, but there's still that essence of mother that will make a mother do whatever it takes. So in this book, it says that the two harlots came before Solomon, and each one claimed to be the mother. So woman number A, she said, I had a baby. And 3 days later, woman number B had a baby. And we live in a house and nobody else is there. I mean, she set it up. And that one night, Lady B's baby died. And she, while I was asleep, exchanged the babies. And took my live baby and put the dead baby there with me. And so she says, Solomon, I want my baby. Now, of course, Lady B denied it all. Solomon thought about it for a moment. He says, you know what? The only way to settle this is let's cut the baby in half and give each one half. Well, Lady A said, sounds like a plan to me. She shouldn't get this baby. That's my baby. But Lady B said, give her the baby. And that shows that the mother will sacrifice anything for her child. So Lady B said to Solomon, give her the baby. Solomon said, you're the mother of that baby. Because if you're willing to sacrifice the baby to keep it alive, you must be the mother. So a mother will sacrifice anything to save her child. Thank you, Mother, for the sacrifices you made for me. I'll say it and then we repeat it together. Thank you, Mother, for the sacrifices you made for me together. Thank you, Mother, for the sacrifices you made for me. And let's just dwell on that for a moment. We know what they were. Then finally, the fourth mother is Mary Magdalene, the mother of mothers, the mother of Jesus. And that's profound. If you think about that, how many mothers stay with their children all their lives? There's so many messages there. The fact of the Immaculate Conception. It's really saying that it doesn't matter. A mother will take care of any child. We may not know who the father is. You know, I love to watch. Sandra gets on me about watching, the Paternity Court. I don't know why I love that, but you know what? It always comes up, and it says, mother's baby, daddy's maybe. So the idea of the mother, Mary Magdalene, is really profound because Mary Magdalene, remember she was an unwed mother, couldn't find an inn, and all of those stories. But when we look at it from a spiritual side, Mary Magdalene is really the perfected version of Eve. And really and truly, Jesus is like a perfected version of Adam. In other words, Jesus is the master teacher. And there's a passage that says that he had to actually remove the demons from his mother. And what it's saying is that everybody brings themselves to the party. That everybody has flaws. Everybody has defects. Nobody is so perfect that they don't need healing. But it says once Jesus had removed all those negatives from the mother, then she was that perfect being, you might say the resurrected Eve. Because Eve had her flaws. Think about it. Eve started the whole problem by eating off the apple. Okay? So this shows that Mary Magdalene was like the perfected mother. And so when we look at it from this lesson is that nobody's perfect. The devils are wrong thinking as mothers, as parents. We've had wrong thoughts. But that That's okay. I've seen children born into families with guilt, where the mother was guilty because she didn't have the wherewithal to take care of the child, the circumstances of the, but that's okay. Mary Magdalene says you can get past all that. Seen situations where shame. We had a lady in our church, and she had a child out of wedlock, and her whole life she spent feeling that people were looking down on her, that everybody was pointing at her. Like, people don't even know who she was. but in her mind, she had that. And so shame, we can get rid of that. It's okay. So Mary Magdalene tells us that through love, unconditional love, through dedication, total dedication, and through tireless service is how mothers operate. So when we look back, just to summarize, the universal mother is that feminine aspect of God, the source of all creations. And mother consciousness is that idea of doing anything necessary to take care of that child. Eve says that Eve is the mother of all living things, that our feeling nature gives us the ability to create the lives we want for ourselves and for our children. Jochebed says that whatever it takes, you will use cunning, you will use guile, you will use whatever you need to take and protect your child. The two mothers judged by Solomon says that a mother will sacrifice anything to protect her child. And the Mother Mary tells us that unconditional love, total dedication, and tireless service heals all things. I'd like to close with a poem. And it says that Sarah Malin said, the poem is called Mother. Your arms were always open when I needed a hug. Your heart understood when I needed a friend. Your gentle eyes were stern when I needed a lesson. Your strength and love has guided me and gave me wings to fly. Wow. Mothers give flying lessons, don't they? Our mothers have taught us how to leave that nest and go and fly. So let us stand and close out together in our treatment. I'll say, and then you repeat after me. The universal mother is the feeling and creation of love together. The universal mother is the feeling and creation of love. A mother always finds a way. A mother will sacrifice for her child. A mother is filled with unconditional love. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much. You may be seated. It is time to take up the offering. Sometimes you have to laugh at yourself. That message really touched me because I had such a relationship with my mother that it just stuns me. Let us have the offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Go right ahead. We'll take up the offering.
To Today's a day like any other, but I am changed, I am a mother, oh, in an instant. And who I was has disappeared, it doesn't matter, now you're here, so innocent. I was lost for you to find, and I am yours and you are mine. Two tiny hands, a pair of eyes, an unsung melody is mine for safekeeping, and I will guard it with my life. I'd hang the moon for it to shine on her sleeping, starting here and starting now. I can feel the heart of how everything changes. I didn't know, but now I see sometimes what isn't meant to be. You saved me. My blurry lines, my messy life come into focus, and in time, maybe I can heal and I can breathe, 'cause I can feel myself believe. Oh, my heart's at the wheel now, and all my mistakes, they make sense when I turn them around. Everything changes. What I thought was so permanent fades. In the blink of an eye, there's a new life in front of my face. And I know in due time every right thing will find its right place. So I swear I'll remember to say we were both born today, 'cause everything changed.
Wow, thank you so much, Megan. Move this out of here. Right there. Whew. Thank you. Just take a deep breath for a moment and give thanks for this offering. I know it was given from your hearts, from your spirit, and from your being. We give thanks that this offering will increase and multiply to fulfill the mission of this church, to help us bring love and light to the world, that we may become missionaries, sharing the goodness and the truth of the one God and the one being. And so together we say, and thanks for this offering, and so it is. Thank you so much. Amen. Just want to remind everybody, too, because Lane is coming up. Next Saturday, we have the Using the 12 Universal Laws of Success seminar right here in the sanctuary from 9:30 to 1 o'clock. And I guarantee you this is a transformational experience. We use our textbook, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. We have a worksheet. But the whole idea is to help you take the laws of success that you already know and put them into action so that you can make this year your year for outrageous success. There we are. Thank you.
Wow, happy days for everybody, mothers, sons, fathers, daughters, everybody. Thank you all for being here and out there. Our announcements for the day are, Chris Mullen is our prayer partner for the day. You will find him over at the prayer box at the end of the service for joining in prayers of request, and thanksgiving, and gratitude. We pray here for 30 days for everything that you request, and then we send them on to Unity Village for Silent Unity to pray over them for another 30 days. So be prayed up. What can I tell you? Silent Unity also has a phone number which is on my speed dial, both for good stuff and such not so good stuff. When I get scared, I call them real fast. After the service, we will have Oneness Blessing in front of the sound booth, so if you wish to avail yourself of that extra added value, please do so. Someone will be there to give you a Oneness Blessing. Two things involving Kirtan will be occurring this week. After the service today, Madhavai Raya will be here for about an hour doing chanting and drumming and praying. So that will be here for about an hour after the service. And on Wednesday, our monthly prayer meditation event will be an evening of prayer and meditation, and she will lead us with that into the heart of the soul. So that will be Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So today at 12:30 and Wednesday at 7 o'clock. As you notice, not today, but most of the days it's getting warmer out. We will be stopping Super Sunday until September. So it's just light snacks from now for the summer. So please join us in fellowship, because fellowship is what's important. So join us after the service for that. The directory that people have volunteered to sign up for is now available, and that will be available outside. Pick one up. It's got a blue cover on it. And that's it for today. So now, please stand and join me for a prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. Wherever God looks over us, I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that will stand to be. With God as Creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The love of God surround us and lift us up. May the wisdom of God guide us and show us the way. May the power of God protect us and keep smooth, beautiful, and perfect our path. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is.